I'm going to ask you something. So how many of you guys you just believe that the next generation of students requires like new academic strategies, AI-powered like strategies in order to just embrace, for example, new types of like, for example, transformation. So do you think that we need to have AI more in our education? Raise your hand. See, they're ready for you. You don't need me. So, okay, so with that said, we're gonna have the first panelist. So we have Robert Grillo. So this is the Vice President and CIO of our university. So he is actually leading a digital transformation effort that integrate AI into academic and administrative systems. So the floor is yours.
Thank you, Pouyan. A little bit of facts and rankings about our FIU. So as you can see from this slide, we've actually made some great strides in some major national publications, such as in the Wall Street Journal, such as in U.S. News and World Report. And more importantly, even our own Florida Board of Governors has ranked us #1 in performance-based metrics. For those of you who are not familiar with that, that really talks about the great strides we've made in graduating our students on time, having some quality excellence in research, and also getting our students career ready. But this is a real testament to the great, vast talent that we have here, which are students that are multidisciplinary and they're actually ready for industry. A little bit about AI and what we're doing here from a strategic perspective. There are 5 main focus groups that we are focusing on here at FIU. The first one is teaching and learning, which is our core business. That is what we do here, obviously, at FIU. It is not only building the next generation of curriculum for our students, but is also giving them the access to the necessary AI tools, and I'll talk about that in a minute. On the second one is our research. We are here to basically resolve global solutions and global problems, and we need to build the necessary infrastructure to retain and attract the best and the brightest researchers around the world, and that is a very much of a focus for us as well. On security, privacy, and compliance, you might see my colleague later on today. She's our Chief Information Security Officer, Hevi Longoria. She will talk about some of the challenges that we have with our intellectual property and our data. Being a public research institution, we are very much regulated by federal and state laws, and that actually does create, some challenges for us and how we protect our data. So in the university operations, our human resources department, our finance department, our IT department, we are looking for ways in order to create efficiencies in processing, either in code development or either in job applications for HR, and I'll actually give you some examples about that in a minute. And then really in health affairs, we most recently just signed a partnership with Baptist Health Systems and Nicholas Children's Hospital, and we will be looking at ways to look at medical education in the future and how AI will also provide, new patient care with this emerging technology. So Dr. Cousins actually mentioned that, obviously one of the things that we're looking at is to build a curriculum. What you see up there are the existing graduate and undergraduate courses that we actually provide. And the specificity there, you see it's around AI, but it's AI around cyber, AI around data science, and this curriculum will continue to grow as time goes on. But we also have the ability to have things that are called badges and micro-credentials, which if you don't really have a particular area that you're focused on AI, employers do want to know that the students, when they graduate, has a basic understanding of AI, and these are just an additional mark that they have on their resume in order to have them the ability to be much more ready for the future. But one of the things that our students want, and our faculty want, and our researchers need is infrastructure. And Research One universities like FIU have very large systems and they have very large research requirements. We have an existing high-performance computing environment that has some AI capabilities, but those AI capabilities need to continue to grow in order to give our researchers and our faculty and our students access to this technology so they can learn. They could do prompt engineering. They could actually develop AI agents. They could actually develop AI virtual assistants. The strategic pillars that are up there, which is environmental and excellence, which are things that we're trying to resolve regarding Everglades and restoration, sea level rise. I mentioned some of the things that we need to do when it comes to health, which is medical education and how we're going to provide care to patients for the future. And then obviously we have technology innovation. What is common amongst those three areas is the ability to learn and understand data. And today, as we build our infrastructure, we will have the ability to have different what's called LLMs, these large language models, either from Google Gemini, either from ChatGPT. Our ability is to not only teach our students one particular technology, but so they have the ability to learn multiple technologies across the spectrum. But we also know we can't do it alone. These systems obviously are large. They could get quite expensive, and we basically need the necessary talent and resources to run them. So we have these hyperscalers that you probably are all familiar with, which is Google, Microsoft, and we also have Oracle. We need to figure out how to integrate our intellectual property data, because I think that is very important as we basically develop, how do we basically develop these types of integration with our existing systems. Google will help us expand on the research side. We just did a pilot with faculty and staff on Copilot, and Oracle basically houses the majority of our data. So on the administrative side, I broke it down into three areas. And we are very much driven to ensure that our students have the necessary requirements to graduate. So one of the things that we're looking to do, and we're actually experimenting, is with AI assistants as advisors. We have 54,000 students. You're never going to have, at scale, the number of advisors that are actually needed in order to support all those different types of students that have different types of requirements. So we think students will have an appreciation if we do create some type of virtual agent to ensure that they get the advisement that they need. On the HR side, we're actually looking at other types of things in order to improve efficiencies. So traditionally, as somebody basically does a search for a posting, we're looking for folks to basically upload their CV and their resume and have the posting find the individual as opposed to the individual finding the posting. So again, is in order to increase efficiencies, get a better understanding how we can leverage the technology. And last but not least, within my particular area, we do a lot of code development. And what we've actually have done in the past that have taken us 6 to 8 to 9 months, we have reduced the amount of time in order to do code development. But we've done, the design, the development, and the testing. A lot of the artificial generation that's actually being done with code development is actually being a great thing for us. So with that, I'll pass it over to my next colleague here, Puyan.
So we're going to just talk about AI in public services, right? So let's talk about how local governments and also the local officials and also municipalities, for example, in Miami and also South Florida, are actually taking advantage of AI. So how many of you guys just think that there are lots of bureaucracy and paperwork, and also there are lots of bottlenecks in lots of approval and licensing and permitting? For example, do you know that how long will it take, for example, to start the building a project here? How long will it take? And how much paperwork, bureaucracy, and also manual reviews and monitoring we need to do? So one of the best way to streamline this type of inefficiencies is AI. So actually AI can streamline this for us, right? Specifically for public services. So we need to have something fast, easy, better, smarter, and hopefully cheaper. Maybe, I don't know. So with that said, we're gonna just have another friend of mine. So we're gonna have Raimundo Rodolfo, so that's the Director of Innovation and Technology from City of Coral Gables. So he's actually very famous in all the initiatives that he has done for all the concept that we call it a smart city. So have you heard it, a smart city? So everything's gonna be smart, right? So we have the best one here in room. So he's gonna just talk about how AI can be used to improve urban infrastructure and also public safety and also citizen engagement. And he's gonna just share lots of AI initiative that these guys actually have done in the last couple of years in the city of Corageves. So with all that said, Raymondo, so all the floor is yours, so 10 minutes.
So we have built a robust innovation ecosystem, in the city. We had, over the years, 100 years, we had the university there, but we also have businesses, and we have partners in hospitals, in schools, everybody working together really to improve quality of life. And technology and innovation has always been present, throughout the years. And I should say that our city has been recognized, like the professor said, over the years, for leveraging innovation, technology, and best practices to continuously improve quality of life. So we, on the same line, so we apply AI also for civic good, to be more efficient, to expedite services, to improve customer experience, citizen engagement, and also to automate processes so we can analyze a lot of data that makes us more efficient and more transparent with the public too. So if you see our smart city engineering framework, so we started building that foundation of high-speed communications. And my background is as an electrical engineer. Over 30 years ago, I started in the industry, working with companies like Motorola, Bell South, Siemens. And I remember we used AI in the form of expert systems and neural networks to improve fault tolerance, on our networks, our urban networks, when we were engineering that fabric that became today the communication infrastructure that we use every day in our phones or every day. So at that time, I remember AI was a concept that was applied to improve reliability of networks and systems, electronic systems. When we started applying AI in our infrastructure in the city of Coral Gables over 10 years ago, it was on the same line to improve fault tolerance of our networks, improve cybersecurity. Then later, we started building intelligent connected infrastructure in the form of smart devices. So connected infrastructure with smart districts, smart lights, sensors, IoT sensors. We were getting a lot of data, millions of data points from thousands of sensors. And then at that time, we needed AI to process that data. That's the only way. How can you process millions of data points every time to produce actionable insight in real time to first responders, to stakeholders, to the public? The only way is with AI. So we started creating those models over 10 years ago, at the beginning, mostly for computer vision in our sensors. So to count traffic, to analyze behavioral data, also to analyze public safety. And we use that data in real time over the past 10 years or more. But then we needed to build platforms that leverage AI to produce insight and data and analytics to the public. So we built the Smart City Hub. We built the Digital Twin about like 5 or more years ago. And then we started building a lot of AI agents and systems that then interacted directly with the stakeholders. And today that has been super accelerated in the last 5 years with those AI agents that we use today and Gen AI. So that's a picture of our smart districts, where we have built that hyper connectivity that enables hyper automation powered by AI that allows visibility and allows actionable insight. Then this is an example of some of those use cases. So I started talking about computer vision. Our engineers in our network team has been building those models over 10 years, basically training models to, hey, let's count vehicles. Now, for example, I want to do a traffic study. Let's count bicycles. So those models have to be trained. So that's machine learning. We have been doing that for over 10 years using computer vision systems. We have built something that is called a community intelligence center, where we aggregate those thousands of cameras and data, and we produce that insight using those models. So early adoption of those kind of like computer vision analytics in IoT applied. Then we started producing analytics to the public, to police for crime analytics, to public works for traffic engineering, to public engagement about data that is powered by those agents that interact with stakeholders. So we started putting all those inside. And then I talk about predictive analytics that is superpowered. It's more than statistical prediction or forecasting. Now we're talking about machine learning and AI models that can predict based also on seasonality, outliers, behavioral data that before was very difficult to input into traditional mathematical models. And also crowdsourcing AI analytics. Then we have AI as a service. So we have a marketplace of data and AI tools that we leverage too. So systems that allows us to do public sentiment analytics, systems like that allows us to do traffic engineering analytics, system that allows us to do market analytics now. So we are leveraging all that data power from the marketplace. And today, of course, we know we have all the big techs that are providing different engines of AI with open APIs that we also leverage in our software engineering team to develop those systems. And in our LiDAR technology, we also have digitized all the roads in the city, and we apply AI and machine learning for predictive analytics and to do automatic inventory. What it used to take months to do an inventory of all the trees in the city, of all the signs in the city, now takes days, using autonomous vehicles with LiDAR technology, photonics, and AI models that allows us to count all those assets, classify them, and also analyze them automatically using LiDAR technology. And also off-the-shelf cybersecurity systems. So we know that we live in the area of adversarial AI for many years. So if you don't have AI capabilities in your cybersecurity and risk management frameworks, it's going to be very difficult really to do advanced threat detection. So we have been doing that for over 10 years, enhancing our cybersecurity systems with neural networks, basically that allows us to do that advanced threat detection and counter adversarial AI. Also, situational awareness in our Community Intelligence Center. You see some photos of those applications there. Our Smart City Hub and Digital Twin, those platforms that democratize the use of data and AI to also inform the public and connect with an ecosystem of entrepreneurs, businesses, anybody that can benefit from that data that we open to the public, is open to the public. And I talk about those off-the-shelf SDKs like Copilot, Agentforce from Salesforce, OpenAI, Google, Gemini, Xgrok, Alexa, Siri, and NVIDIA has a very good model also with NeMo. So in our lab, we have an incubator and a tech lab, and we used all those tools to develop applications and interfaces as well. And education. So we have built our Gables Tech Tank incubator in the city, and also our Smart City Innovation and Technology Lab. Over the years, more than 10 years, we have had more than 170 interns and research residents, many from FIU, from Miami-Dade College, from University of Miami, from high schools, from STEM, Coral Gables High School. They have worked on projects. Many of them today are AI related. So if you go to our lab, where today we have a cohort of maybe like 16 students, you will find many of the projects, they have an AI component today. So I can say that FIU and other universities and schools have done a great job incorporating AI into their curriculum. Now we are getting them with an associate degree or a bachelor's degree. They come shovel ready to start applying AI. Even if they come from different curriculum, even marketing, they know how to leverage AI for those other disciplines as well. So, and this is another example that I said that when we build Internet of Things and connected infrastructure, AI is part of the edge analytics of those devices. So you will see smart poles and traffic sensors, environmental sensors, flooding alert sensors, all those systems, many of them either have edge analytic in the electronics so they can use some AI algorithms to process data and to detect, classify, or they input that data into cloud-based models, and then we analyze the data in the cloud and we provide that to our systems. And this is the only technology of its kind in North America. It's an AI-powered modular pole that was developed by aerospace engineers. We started the first pilot in 2020 and 2021, so the first device was this one, installed, if you know Coral Gables, Alhambra Circle, and Ponce de Leon. Then we have 4 other pole models. The last model is version 3. We re-engineered with Aikin, the electronics engineering company from Germany that manufactured the system. Plus, we brought Pininfarina, an industrial design firm from Italy that helped us to improve the design to make it more amicable and aligned with the Coral Gables Mediterranean Revival architecture. And University of Miami School of Architecture, they also help us to, on the design process. So those are AI-powered poles. They do what you do with 16 different collocations. You do it with one system, no attachments, and it has edge analytics. And many of the AI models, they run inside of the device for environmental sensing, public safety, detection, classification, etc. So I invite you to visit our Smart City Hub, coralgables.com/smartcityhub, or coralgables.ai. So coralgables.ai will take you to the hub. We built it in 2018. The National Institute of Standards and Technology considered the Smart City Hub of Coral Gables a model platform for providing data to the smart city ecosystem. And over the years, we have built a lot of AI capabilities there. So like our ADA project in 2020. And this is an example of the Community Intelligence Center when we leverage computer vision. To give you an example, we had a crowded event, Carnival on the Mile, 50,000 people. There was a couple with a child. They lost their child. So they told one of the police officers that was with a radio. The police officer radioed to the CIC. One of my software engineers was at the CIC at that moment. And in 2 minutes, we found the child with morphological analytics and leveraging AI models and learning models that we had at the Community Intelligence Center. Thank you. And this is our digital twin, coralgables.com/digital twin. We started building the AI-powered geospatial analytics and platform. It's homegrown, developed by our software engineers and our IT lab. We started in 2021, and at this moment, we have had multiple versions with advanced analytics. This is the LiDAR technology I mentioned. I see I am out of time, so I'm going to go super quick here. And this is our AI-powered smart building infrastructure that we have at the EOC, where we serve Coral Gables, University of Miami, and 5 other cities. We have AI-powered data that we present to activations, during hurricane activations and other data. And also we have our simulation rooms where we use virtual reality for police to play the scenarios. And this is an example of how we use RPAs in ERP systems, also applications of AI. Also how we use AI in our citizen engagement apps, and also in our police cloud-native CAD and RMS system. This QR code will take you to our collaboration ecosystem where we partner with universities. This is a photo of our innovation lab. You see all those interns, over 170 over the years. Those students are bright, and it's amazing how they learn how to apply AI to solve problems, real-life problems, like you see here in these photos, like building augmented reality. We do events where we pitch those projects to companies so they are connected with job opportunities, because the goal is to get them really a career after they learn how to apply all those skills, like AI, for example. And ADA started as an NSF-funded project in 2020. Today, we have a 4th version, leveraging ChatGPT to create agents for all city departments and for the public. In traffic, we are using AI also to control traffic lights with digital twinning, so we can optimize traffic using machine learning in collaboration with the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory. So this QR code will take you to more information. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. See, I already told you we have lots of surprises. So did you know any of this? See, that's FIU. We are not boring. Okay, so we're gonna just move from Coral Gables to our city. So we're gonna talk about Miami now. So are you excited? I don't see any excitement. Are you excited? Okay, so let me just ask you something. Do you guys enjoy getting stuck in traffic? Okay, heard. I heard it. Noted. Do you think we deserve like safer place, smarter cities for all the citizens? Do you think that everything should be like smarter for everyone? So AI for everyone, right? Every AI for all people in Miami, everyone, right? So do you think it's gonna be like, for example, do you think one day we're gonna have like ChatGPT Pro free for everyone in Miami? Do you like it? You don't like it? Okay, if you like it, just let me know. Do you like it? Okay, that's good. Okay, so do you want to see self-driving cars very soon on the road in Miami? Like, for example, Waymo or Zoox? Do you like it? Or lots of people say no. You know why? Because our style of driving is very different. We got the signal to the right, but we just go to the left. So that's the thing that we confuse robots, say that, you know what, I'm gonna go back to Silicon Valley, they're better. But we're gonna have something for you guys. So we're gonna announce it actually. We're gonna have some surprise for you. So with all that said, we're gonna have Keith Carswell, another friend of mine, so Director of Department of Economic Innovation and Development, City of Miami. So he's one of the best leaders. I talked to him before, so very, very expert in his field, very knowledgeable at the City of Miami. It's just helping shape how municipalities embrace AI to drive inclusive growth. So this is my friend Keith. Thank you very much.
Just by a show of hands, how many folks in here are students? Oh, good. All right, just by a show of hands, how many people were raised in Miami? Oh, that's a good number. All right. My name is Keith Carswell. I'm Director for the Department of Economic Innovation Development with the City of Miami. I want to acknowledge a couple of colleagues that are here. Jennifer Moore, my Assistant Director. Thank you for coming out. Henny Cristobal is back there. He oversees workforce development. And so when I had an opportunity to talk a little bit about this conference, and I'm just happy to be here because I'm one of those very few people that grew up actually in Miami. And for those of you who don't know, people used to really just fish off Southwest 8th Street in the canals back in the day before the school was here. You know, there was nothing out here. And so through these eyes, you know, and now I'm approaching this conference also, I stand before you as not only a Miami native, but also a father of a 19 and 21-year-old, and my oldest is just transferred here at FIU. So, and he wants to do the real estate track, but you know, that's fine. But when I think about future mobility, and before that, let me talk a little bit about our department. So we interface a lot with the private sector that want to do public-private partnership and initiatives. So we've been working with Dell and NVIDIA on developing a digital twin. We also will be announcing an innovation district that we're going to be doing in the north end, covering Little River, Little Haiti. We work with C3AI. They've done a pilot project using AI to actually issue zoning verification letters. So we're not necessarily the user department, but we kind of facilitate those engagements, and we've done two summits on advanced air mobility, as well as we've done things in real estate with opportunity zone summits and things of that nature. So when I think of future mobility, I think of this. And these are from the eyes of someone who sees this for you young people. If you've ever read Shakespeare's Tempest, and there's Miranda, Oh Brave New World. And also with being cognizant of some of the concerns about AI, these are some good times, and these are some of the best of times and some of the worst of times. Some of the scary times and stuff, about the possibilities of what can happen. But in the future, and think about this too, 10 years ago, do you think a person would get in a car with a stranger? But yet, when you hail your rideshare, Uber, particularly women, you get in a car and you just have it's a transition. You know, this is someone who also, I remember when the Motorola phone came out, the big brick. If some of you remember, it's a big white phone, had an antenna that you had to screw into the top, or if you were very fortunate and you were able to get an Encyclopedia Britannica. Ooh, what is that? And now this little device that you carry in your pocket connects you to the world. You know, information. And there's some talk, and I'm not going to do it, connecting this to my brain or whatever. I'm not there yet. Don't think I will be. But the future mobility is very robust and is bright. And it involves connecting seamlessly with AI. Because that's, at the end of the day, that is going to be the connective tissue with that. So President Trump recently signed a few executive orders, air supremacy, something on drones. We see that happening. The market for advanced air mobility is about 13 billion right now and expected to go almost 70 billion by 2030. There's a lot of interest. We've had conversations and partnerships with folks like Zoox, Waymo, who are going to be operating because everyone wants to be here in South Florida. But when I look at this, I see opportunities. Because just like the person who may drive Uber and drive Lyft, well, with Zoox and Waymo, that side hustle is going to kind of fade away. Because Elon is going to have, for example, self-driving vehicles under 30,000 driverless. And we think that they'll work out, even though there's some differences with driving, but through technology over a period of time, we'll be able to kind of compensate for that. But the opportunity is for the city and for our perspective is not to just get caught up in the technology, but create opportunities for people who may get left behind. And so my perspective on it, I'm not going to necessarily lean in too much into the technology because we can talk about that as part of the panel. But one of the things that we've done, a couple of things, we have something called the Venture Miami Scholarship Fund. So any City of Miami resident that is Pell Grant eligible, that pursues a STEM career, FIU is a participating school, and there's a gap in the tuition cost, we cover through the fund. One of the things that I'm very excited about that we've added the 7 technical colleges for Miami-Dade County Public Schools. So when we look at this, connectivity, we look at the wiring, but guess what? You need HVAC technicians in order to cool those data centers. You need electricians to help with the wiring, the connectivity, because that voltage for some of those data centers, over 1 million volts. It's skilled work, but it's high demand work. And so I refer to it as blue collar tech. So for you young people, the future is very bright. Open your imagination. When people talk about the future mobility, this is what it looks like. It's not just coding. It's not just someone with a sweatsuit hacking away, but also it involves someone blue collar, maybe doing the wiring, the connectivity. And so those are some of the challenges and those are some of the opportunities. So even though when I say, oh, brave new world, we're using ChatGPT, it's a resource. It does hallucinate, garbage in, garbage out. There are some challenges and opportunities with that, but also by opening the aperture of your mind, you can seize the day. And when people talk about the future mobility, it is bright and it is robust. Thank you. Okay, there we go. Zoox is looking at being operational by the end of this year, October, November of this year. So we're not talking theoretical, and I'm meeting with Archer Aviation actually this afternoon.
Oh, that's good.
So-
That's good. So one of the things that I can just to wrap it up here is that lots of people say that AI are gonna just destroy lots of jobs and lots of jobs will be disappeared and vanished. Actually, yes, there are. But see, there are lots of new opportunities here in Miami. I told you it's gonna be one of the best place to try and scale any type of innovations because we have lots of innovative people in Miami. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't underestimate yourself. You can do a lot. Especially people from FIU, don't underestimate yourself because some students just come to me, I cannot get the job because I'm from FIU, so all the good jobs are just going to for example, Silicon Valley. No, who said that? So there are lots of new opportunities, believe me. There are lots of, I'm in this field for around 10 years. I know there are lots of new opportunities coming into Miami, so just wait for that. Okay, so the last one, we're gonna go to private sector now. So investment, real estate, marketing. How many of you guys are into marketing? You like marketing? Oh, we have some. You have some in marketing. Okay, that's good. So how many you just believe that, so we need to have better type of customer service in Miami? Okay, I'm gonna go. So customer service in Miami, okay. And how many of you believe that AI can improve the customer relationship and it can just enhance the type of interactions that we can have with people, right? Some people say yes. Yeah, this is another opportunity. So for marketing, and specifically, one of the things that is also is very good for Miami is that we have lots of services, especially specifically hospitality, right? So there are lots of restaurants, there are lots of bars, there are lots of things. So this is very good and a very good opportunity for AI in marketing in hospitality. So with that said, we have Emi Aguero. So that's a partner from the Breakwater Hospitality Group. So he has like lots of and tons of like projects that about AI in marketing, and he has a unique perspective from the private sector that where AI is being used to enhance customer experience and optimize real estate operation in South Florida.
Hello. Hello, guys. My name is Emi Guerra, and I am the co-founder of Breakwater Hospitality. Breakwater Hospitality, you may not have heard of, but for sure, I think there's been a few of you that have been to our venues. By a show of hands, has anybody ever been to the Wharf in Miami? Oh, yes. Regatta in Coconut Grove, John Martin's in Coral Gables, the Wharf in Fort Lauderdale, Pier 5 in Bayside, Carousel Club in Gulfstream Park. We have quite a few venues. I'm alumni here. Haven't been here in quite some time, and after 25 years is... sorry, that was emotional. I'm gonna talk about 4 things. How we use AI to improve our efficiency and what we're doing today. What AI has been terrible at in the process of trying to put it into our company. What we're really excited about that's around the corner. And the future, and what kind of concerns me, but is the unknown. So you could understand the scale of hospitality that we deal with. 30 to 50,000 people come through our doors every single weekend. The variant on that is weather. Most of our places are outdoors. So 30 to 50,000 people, that's what, 2 Kaseya centers where the Heat play. There's 2 football stadiums, maybe 2.5. That's a lot of people. It's a lot of human interaction. To me, hospitality is probably the most human of all businesses. It's hard to be artificial with a handshake or making a person feel special, especially if you know it's intelligence that's doing it for you, right? Like, it doesn't feel genuine if ChatGPT is being really nice to you. It doesn't feel good, right? It's neutral. So we have not been able to work with AI to make people feel better. Let's call it front of house, which in hospitality is where you're dealing with the customer. To move that kind of people and what we were really good at and what FIU taught me how to do really well, which is move a lot of people and get them together and have a good time. I got into the business of hospitality by throwing parties. It's, one party led to a bigger party, and those bigger parties turned into businesses, and here we are today doing pretty well. In order to move that many people, you need to, well, at least 25 years ago, you needed to go out. And with those flip phones and that we were talking about 2 seconds ago, and brick phones, you had to go out, meet friends, get phone numbers, call them every single weekend, and get them all to go to a venue or to a party. Obviously, with the internet and with data, that's all changed. And now you're able to do a lot more efficient work, and that's completely evolved. Today, we have a marketing team of 20 people, 2 of which are here. I have Jonathan DeCastro back there and Emily Benzotti in the back over there. These 20 people, with the help of AI, really do all the work that a lot of people don't see that moves 30 to 50,000 people. What that has done for us internally is it has not replaced any jobs per se within our company, but it has allowed them to be much, much more efficient. with the amount of venues that we have, the amount of content that we put out, I don't see a lot of hospitality companies doing that. And in order to survive in this competitive world, we got to continue to evolve. And I like to work to lead the charge. I'm always working 3 years, 4 years in advance. And our managers are working a year in advance. And our marketing staff is working 6 months in advance. And like that, we're able to scale and grow. And in the last 6 years, we've been able to quintuple in size as a company. Now, what is AI bad at? And this has just my personal experience and our team's personal experience. And what it really hasn't, or what we haven't figured out, maybe it's really good and I just don't know how to do it, is coming up with original ideas. What ends up happening when you run a successful company or a successful marketing company or a successful hospitality company, everyone starts copying you. And everybody knows about, obviously, ChatGPT, and everybody's prompting sucks. Like, it is what it is. So you wanted to come up with a drink menu, and it gives you, and you have tequila-based drinks, and it gives you an idea of, Margarita 2.0. I'm like, okay, well, that sucks as a drink. You don't get any originality. And if everything is the same, we have this saying in the office, if everything is the same, it's lame. You got to continue to evolve. The human creativity, we have yet to been able to tap on that. So to me, at least for us, it has not been very effective in coming up with original ideas, especially if you're trying to be at the forefront and trying to be at the edge, pushing the limits and getting better each day. Now, what are we excited about and that we know is around the corner? Our operations teams, obviously shaking hands and things that we've implemented. Recently, we implemented Slang AI, so now we have AI answering our phones and passing it on to the right people. That took a little bit of programming. We're almost done, and that's about to be put into action. We're really excited about robotics. In a kitchen, for those of you who don't know, there's a hotline. And in a hotline, you have chefs cooks that are grilling steaks, burgers, fish. They're on a grill. Let's say at a normal restaurant, it costs about $200,000, $250,000 a year in labor and salaries to operate a hotline. Robotics, we feel, and we've seen early stages of it I've at least read up on it. I haven't acquired one yet, but for about $200,000, we would assume in the near future, we'll be able to get a robot to grill all your food for you. So it doesn't really affect the human interaction. Their steak and chicken and fish will come out perfect every single time. It's not going to call out sick. It's not going to have any baby mama drama. There's not going to be anything wrong with your stuff. It's just going to be perfect. We'll see. But we're really excited about that. That'll improve efficiency, and it'll allow us to then concentrate more in the front of house and the human interaction so we could be genuine, and we could shake everyone's hands, and we can make them feel welcome, and hopefully they will come back. So that we're excited about. Now, something that, and this is to me, is the unknown, which is the final topic. The unknown for us is why people will go out in the future. We always look at why people go out and why they always go out for a drink and they go out to eat. 25 years ago when I was here, you had to go out to meet people, find a romantic partner, see fashion, listen to good music, because all you had was CDs, and all the good CDs were in Europe, and only a DJ, if it was flying into town, could you hear that DJ? There were so many, your friends from other schools, your friends from other jobs, walks of life, you name it, you had to step out of your house for it. Now, all that, you get it from your phone. So, as we evolved as a company, we made sure we saw how social media took off. We implemented Instagram moments, we call them, right? Moments for people to take pictures so they can share on social media. That's a big reason for people to go out, the FOMO that they see everyone else out in social media, et cetera. They still go out to meet people, maybe after they've met them on Tinder or whatever app they use, or Bumble or whatever. I've never used a dating app. My wife is sitting up here. But what doesn't necessarily concern me, but what is next and is unknown to me, maybe that's something we could talk about is, well, actually, who here has created their own AI twin on ChatGPT or any other program? Have any of you tried to do that yet? Okay, I tried to do that as well. And it's pretty interesting because eventually one day you're going to have an AI twin that's going to do everything you don't want to do. I wanted to create it so that if we continue to scale and grow our company, the 1,000 or 2,000 questions I've uploaded to it, it would know how to answer if anybody needed to like, hey man, what would Emmy do? What does he suggest? They could just ask AI and not bother me, right? Well, I was reading, and I've been, I kind of read these things and whatnot. AI twins one day are going to start going out on dates for you with other AI twins. I read that the other day and I was like, oh man, what does that do to our business? You're just going to sit at home, your AI twin's going to go out with, I don't know how many thousands of people and find out if you have the right amount of interests and what are your chances of falling in love? So why would people go out then? I don't know. That's the stuff that kind of concerns me because we always look to evolve in hospitality as to why people go out. Anyways, that's it. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So actually, we're supposed to have like 15 minutes, like a very hot topic discussion, but it seems that we are short on time. So we don't have we cannot borrow 5 minutes, right? We can't. So let's just directly go to question and answer. So if they have any questions from our panelists, please, can you just give them the microphone? So just raise your hand, or they're gonna just bring you the microphone. Yeah, we're gonna have okay, so we have the last person also there. So we have 3 questions, so we need to just, please, can you just give it to, just go the first one?
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Marcus Carvel. I'm a faculty member in finance. The question I have is, I see that Coral Gables has ability to synchronize the traffic in the city, but I thought all this has to do from the county, that all the synchronization of traffic lights come out of the county offices there on 72nd and 36th. So
Yes.
how are you able to do that? Can you override the county?
I didn't have time to go too much over that slide because I was rapid firing everything, but it's a research project funded by the Advanced Research Project Agency of the Department of Energy. We started 3 years ago. This is our last year. We have been doing field testing, but as you mentioned, we don't control the traffic lights, so most of the field testing has been done with vehicles and also simulating the models with a supercomputer that is running from the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory. We reach out to the county, and the county help us to explore some possibilities. So maybe in the future, we will partner with the county to do actual field testing, but so far, everything has been done the supercomputer simulation models. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So it's a little work to do going forward.
Thank you very much. So next, we have around 5 minutes we have too many questions. Okay, so let's go to the lady in the second row.
Hi, good morning. My name is Raimundo. It looks like
Okay.
Coral Gables had a lot of technology. Can you talk a little bit, how do you ask for the budget? How you demonstrate the value? Because being in the public sector, I don't know how easy it is for you to get the budget, an incremental budget year over year.
We have been funding the same way for many years. Basically, our budget, if you take it to present value, has been pretty much the same, or sometimes maybe with inflation and CPI a little bit lower over the years. By augmenting our talent with our lab and our researchers and collaboration with universities and interns, we are able to do sometimes more things without having to use outsourcing. Also, our human capital is our most important capital. So we have engineers and experts in my team that they work as a general contractor sometimes, like developing and building things. That help us to keep the cost lower.
Thank you. I think we can take 2 more because they just told me that we have only 5 minutes, so I wish we had more. time to talk about. So can we have like this gentleman? Sorry, this lady. So can you just tell us? I think we can hear you. Do we have any? No, I don't know. Okay.
Hi, good morning, or good afternoon now. So we know that, and this could be a question for all of the gentlemen.
Please.
And the respective sectors or category of business that they are in. My concern more about AI is the governance of it. So what kind of, I guess, checks or protocols or safeties do you have, especially when it comes to surveillance and other topics, right, and other issues?
Yeah, that's a very important question. Actually, we wanted to talk about ethics and lots of like security and also privacy things, but we don't have time. So any of you guys want to answer to jump in?
I mean, I'll jump in real quick. So I mentioned earlier there's a lot of federal, state, and privacy laws, to your point. One of the things that most institutions and organizations are doing is to create what's called private tenants, that they're really not in the public domain, right? So it's basically, it's an environment that doesn't really allow it to be shared outside the organization itself. Most of it is data related. So really, when you talk about safeguards, you're basically building an ecosystem that is really not for the public's consumption, but it's for the organizational consumption. ChatGPT-4 and other things are all in the public domain, but ultimately you need to build an infrastructure that would be what's called, in essence, like a private tenant.
And then one of the considerations we've discussed as it relates to the digital twin is surveilling people. And so some of the technology we were looking at would not identify people per se, but there are points on the body, a person's gait, how they walk, can identify them, or not who they are as an individual, but identify that it is a person and differentiate from one person to another without having your name or attaching it to some database or your face.
So real quick, another thing, if you've actually been through TSA traveling recently, they're taking face. By the way, that's optional, right? You don't necessarily have to do it. It's optional. You're actually there, you take it and you go, but it's not a requirement at this time.
Okay, so I think we have only like 3 minutes. The last question for my panelists. The last one. Anyone? Please, okay. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much. When technology first comes into play in the business place, there's a tendency
You need to just...
to go after the low-hanging fruit. So a lot of very interesting discussion and examples today are about how AI is improving processes and making things more efficient. That's very understandable because there's a lot of pressure after spending a lot of money on AI to find an ROI. So the first obvious target is to go after processes. And that's why agentic AI, using agents, is the big thing, is the big fad right now. But there's another aspect of AI called co-intelligence, where you use AI as an extension of yourself to gather information, understand the implications of that information, and make decisions. And so my question to you is, within your organizations, does your CEO, does your city manager, does your president of your university make decisions partly with the support of AI? And if so, maybe give an example.
I think we have only 1 minute, so one of you guys please jump in, please.
Okay, I would love to take that. Yes, I do. I can tell you that most legal documents that I get, and I get a lot, I think we have, 11 different law firms, in-house counsel, et cetera, marketing reports. A lot of the decisions I make, most of the reporting I get, I run it through AI, I give it the identity of being an expert in that specific field. I have it summarize it for me. If I have the time, I dig through the documents, but sometimes it's difficult to dig through 100-page, 200-page legal documents back to back to back to back to back. You have to run a business as well, right? So yes, the answer is yes. I use it all the time. I don't know if it's perfect, but it's what I do, and it at least allows me to go into meetings as a business owner more prepared.